We shall double our efforts. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zereth Prevails. We have a new kit to talk about today. It's the TIE Interceptor, and it has extra letters attached to it for no reason that I can discern. I even looked on Wikipedia, actually, and it's just like nothing. It's like, hey, this is what the name means. It means TIE Interceptor, and it's like, oh, well, it already had TIE Interceptor in its name. There's just extra letters. So, I don't know. Even Wikipedia seems to be a little confused. But we've got TIE. Oh, man, this is exciting. It's actually a really good ship, and I don't know. This seems like a big middle finger to Negotiator, frankly. But it looks like it's gonna add a lot of utility, and I just want more ships. I would take ship mods if we could, just to customize our ships a little bit and be able to figure out, get some stats on them that we want. But I would settle for a lot of more interesting kits as well. Seems really cool. So gonna talk about that. We'll talk about the Leia Omicron. We'll talk about Darth Vader's new fix, at least on his ship, and we'll talk about the Akbar Omicron a little bit in relation to the Leia one, because it's the first one that you can actually take two Omicrons on the same squad and have them use some synergy. So all these things we're going to talk about, we're actually going to talk about right here. So let's actually get into the browser here. So first off, oh my gosh, unfortunately it's at the very bottom of here. We're not going to read it backwards though, guys. Okay, so pew 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 pew. How much time do you think these guys spent on their one laptop working on this animation? This is pretty weird though, guys. We're getting a TIE Interceptor? The Inquisitors actually all flew like TIE Advanced ships. Like they all flew Vader's ship essentially, but So giving Second Sister a TIE Interceptor is pretty weird. I don't know. I'm fine with it. I think lore-wise, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense. There's a few weird things about it. This is from Jedi Fallen Order. It looks like that's just their theme. Right now they're doing Jedi Fallen Order stuff. I don't know. I mean, that makes sense that they just announced Jedi Fallen Order 2, so why not do some stuff from Fallen Order 1? Which makes me think, why are we going to get Cal Kestis here? Are we going to start getting some, truly interesting characters? I don't know. But one way or another, guys, we've got TIE/IN Interceptor prototype. And, okay, so it's a prototype. I don't know, that maybe they just attacked that on just to make it seem a little closer to a TIE Advance. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so it's Empire, it's Attacker, and it's Inquisitorious. And I don't know who settled on this name. It's like Inquisition, except we have to Star Warsify it. So Inquisitorious it is. And the crew is the Second Sister. So it's as nimble as it is deadly. We don't know how much damage it's going to do, guys. Maybe we could look at the speed or the damage modifiers. You guys can go look at that. So the basic are using its laser cannons. Surprise! It deals damage to target enemy twice. They keep doing this. Deals damage twice. Just things twice. Two things. They do that on the characters a lot. We don't have any ships to compare it to because, surprise, they didn't release any ships last year. But I'm not salty at all, guys. So it can't be evaded if it's target locked. Great. Will it do a lot of damage? I have no idea. My guess is that it's going to do something similar to what a TIE Fighter does. Okay, so this one, the special auto thruster maneuver, it's a cooldown 2. So it gains. You deal damage to target enemy and gain foresight for 2 turns. If the TIE Interceptor, blah blah blah, all the different random extra words, already has foresight, it instead grants a random other ally foresight for 2 turns. So this is pretty cool because they show the picture here, and this is exactly what I thought of. A foresight is great on all these other ships as well. Give it to TIE Fighter, and when they shoot at TIE Fighter and miss, then you get extra turn meter on your ship. If you put it on TIE Bomber, then it's one less hit on the TIE Bomber. So that's pretty cool, except, will it have foresight a lot anyways? Gain foresight for 2 turns, and if it already had foresight, then you know, you could. It's a cooldown too. It's just gonna keep going away. I don't know how. Like, can you stage it? I'm not sure yet. We'll have to just find out. Ruthless Pursuit. This is probably going to be the one that we use a lot. And this is such a weird animation. I don't know if I approve. I don't care about the animation though. Let's just get real. I care about the kit. Deal physical damage to all enemies. Grant Ruthless, which is just an undispellable buff, except it can go away. And then, so this is why it's a big middle finger to Negotiator. Give target enemy and all Jedi enemies pursued target. It's a debuff or a blue thing, whatever they're called, an effect. Whenever they use an ability, if the target did not have pursued target, Ruthless goes away. So he's basically pigeonholing himself into shooting these guys who have pursued target. And in which case, I mean, this is nice because you can actually, so like I said, it's a middle finger to the Negotiator comps, because you use this and immediately you can shoot Anakin whenever you want. So, well, I don't know if you can shoot him while he's in stealth, but one way or another, let's see. So it can ignore, so if, let's see, if they didn't have pursued target, then Ruthless goes away, but pursued target is removed, you know. So it's like, okay, if Houndstooth is there, and you decide to shoot Houndstooth instead of your pursued targets, then I guess it doesn't work. So it can ignore taunt effects when targeting enemies with pursued targets. So probably it can't ignore stealth, is my guess. Ruthless, 15% critical chance, all this cool bonus damage and stuff that we just don't know what it's going to do. Let's see, when it's, let's see, so when their pursued targets are, let's see, when the target... When they target a unit with an ability during its turn, then the TIE Interceptor gains 40% turn meter. Whew. Let's see. So yeah, like if you just keep shooting 5s, you're gonna just gain 40% turn meter. Okay, so it's when it's target though. It's not when it does damage. So I was gonna say maybe you can just like spam basic and do damage 2 times. It doesn't look like it does, but must target a unit with this or a taunt effect, and can ignore effects to target this unit. Taunt effects, okay. I mean, basically what we just read. Hardware, okay, this is why I think he's very similar to Plo. This is like a way that, so hardware is their reinforcement ability, guys. And if all allies are Empire, Inquisitorius, or Sith, so I mean, pretty broad applicability. I mean, you can bring like the scimitar if you wanted. Dispel buffs on all enemies, and apply target lock and buff immunity for 2 turns. So that, my guess is that that's based on his potency, which is a reason I want ship mods, because what if his potency sucks? What if it's awful, just like the Y-Wings, the Rebel Y-Wing? Like, who cares if it does target lock or buff immunity, if they just have an amazing chance to just fail? I don't know. I would really like some mods, guys. But dispel buffs on all Empire, or debuffs on all Empire, Inquisitorius, and Sith allies. So it doesn't heal anyone, but it gets rid of all buffs, and it gets rid of all debuffs, and it gives target lock and buff immunity. That is a crazy awesome, I don't know, ally thing? Whatever it's called. Reinforcement ability. Don't judge me. It is late. I just streamed for you guys all night. I really did. Okay. Anyways, unique prototype design. Finally, whenever Empire, Inquisitorius, or Sith allies reinforces, then he gains foresight. Okay, so that's when. So when someone reinforces, then he gains foresight. But he needs to be in reinforcements to start with, actually. So I don't know how. Again, I don't know. This will happen like one time that he gains foresight from this. So, like, it sounds really cool, but unless it's a protracted fight, I don't see this being super relevant. Whenever TIE Interceptor prototype critically hits an enemy, this has just gotta be the longest frickin' word for a character. Whenever TIE/IN Interceptor prototype critically hits an enemy, which we don't know what his crit chance is, so who knows if that is actually a thing, like, who cares, almost. If all allies are Empire, Inquisitorius, or Sith, the allied capital ship gains 5% turn meter, which is actually really nice, guys. This seems like, well, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Tarkin or if it's going to be Chimera, if it's going to be the Executrix or Executor. Oh, I don't think it'll be Executor. One of the two other the lesser Star Destroyers. This seems pretty cool, guys. The 5% turn meter on a capital ship is actually fairly large, which is what she said. But this looks pretty good, guys. And then they also, I don't know if you guys missed it, so they also are changing Darth Vader's ship a little bit here. They are doing a new tier here. So there's a final tier of advanced targeting system. Well, so it's not like we have to upgrade it again. They just upgraded this. So the on Vader's, and this is his unique, by the way. This isn't a reinforcement or anything. This is his unique. So he has to be in the fight to start with, I think, for this to affect. So at the start of the battle, if all allies are Empire, Inquisitorius, blah blah blah. Such a mouthful. Why didn't they say prototype here, guys? And the TIE-IN Interceptor prototype. They're missing that. Freaking retarded. I'm sorry. That was not a nice word. But is in reinforcements. That's like a blast back from my teenage years, guys. I do apologize. No, there's no offense intended there. Wow. Let's see. Allied Empire capital ship cooldowns are reduced by 1, including call reinforcement. This is really cool. So if TIE Interceptor is in the reinforcements, then the Empire capital ship, whatever it is, I mean, it could be Executor. You could reduce its super laser by 1, which, I mean, that's cool, but a fully Empire Executor fleet doesn't sound best to me. Maybe it'll be great. I don't know. Poor old bounty hunters just being displaced if that's the case. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think that this could be so strong with Chimera or Executrix. We'll have to see. We'll let our resident ship experts decide. However, reduced by 1, including call reinforcements. Like, I keep thinking of the fleet being something like TIE Fighter with Vader, and then who knows, maybe, some kind of a tank, I guess TIE Bomber. And then the very first turn, we could get a reinforcement in and get either TIE Interceptor in or whatever. I don't know, it seems pretty cool. You get Gauntlet in. Gauntlet's really good. I mean, I think this means that we have to start Vader as one, like, not the lead, but he's going to be in the squad to start with, which can be dangerous. I don't know. We'll just have to see, folks. I mean, the TIE Bomber protects him pretty well, but this is all very interesting, folks. I am consider me interested. I want to see more ships, though. Please give us more ships. I love this guy. He comes in from reinforcements and changes the landscape of the battle. It is really cool. I also think that the possibility exists strongly that we're not actually going to get the Nihilus Ravager ship that everyone keeps saying was rumored. And yeah, it was rumored on the list of all the guesses that someone made, and then they happened to get real lucky. But yeah, well, or maybe I'm just wrong, but this seems like a really good step in the right direction. We need more ships. And this looks really good. And I don't know where that leaves us. I think we have... Okay, so this is the Conquest reward. Oh, so this is really interesting, guys. We can actually unlock this guy if we pay for it's a 5-star unlock. So if we pay for the bundle, whatever, the pack, the $10 pack, to get more shards, we'll actually be able to unlock this guy right at the start of Conquest 2. So we'll actually be able to get it right before GAC lock, I believe, like, a couple hours before. And we'll get it at 5 stars, but that's enough to get the reinforcement abilities, like all the cool abilities we'll be able to get. So, I mean, we'll get it right at the start of... Yeah, I think like a month away. So maybe it's 2 months away. Yeah. Either way, guys, it looks pretty cool. Let's talk about Leia's kit real quick, her upgrade, and then we'll get out of here. Well, we'll talk about Akbar just a tiny bit too. Okay, so So, whenever Leia attacks, so this is, she can triple tap, usually, she has a 55% chance to grant all Rebel allies retribution for 2 turns, and a 55% chance to grant all Rebel allies tenacity up for 2 turns, and all other Rebel allies recover 5% health and protection. So every time she shoots, everyone's healing. If she triple taps, everyone's healing 15%. That's cool. They're also gaining retribution and tenacity up, most likely. So some unique buffs. I like the tenacity thing. And the thing is, if she goes with Akbar, she has... okay, so at the start of the battle, all allies gain tenacity up for 2 turns. So, I mean, that's redundant, I guess. If all allies are rebel, so this is Akbar's Omicron, by the way, guys, if I wasn't clear about that. Whenever an ally's buff expires, they gain 3% turn meter. So, if you get tenacity up and then you get it applied again, the first one doesn't expire. I don't think that's how it works. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think that's how it works. I think that it's just... they gain, I think, so there's a couple new buffs out there. They gain 3% turn meter. In addition, if all allies are rebel, whenever an ally uses an ability that isn't an attack, recover all allies' health by 5%. So the whole team is regenerating their hit points by quite a bit. Call the other 2 weakest allies to assist, reduce their cooldowns by 1. I mean, I just keep imagining Leia just going crazy, and then having Biggs just spam his special, because it's a 2 cooldown, but I don't know, so alongside Leia, I have to wonder, are they gearing up Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum? Is that what they're trying to do? Are they trying to get her ready? Because we're getting 2 new buffs for her, basically. And yeah, I mean, here's the issue I have currently, folks. Right now, with this iteration, people are like, man, I'm so tempted to do this. I'm so tempted because Leia and Akbar do seem to go hand in hand. They seem to go well together, and they're calling a lot of Rebel assists. I mean, this feels kind of like a Mothma team. In a way, you can kind of game the system just a little bit so that, Leia is just constantly going into stealth and then calling 2 rebels to assist. She's always gaining, and whenever she's attacking, she's also giving all these buffs out, which, Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum could do some interesting stuff with. Here's the thing, guys. Right now, if you wanted to do this would cost you 40 Omicrons. Like, that is so many right now at this stage of the game. So many. And this whole team just still gets taken out by Nest super easily. Nest would destroy this team really bad. It wouldn't be close. Nest can solo this team. You can't put it on defense because Nest will solo it. She will destroy you. And so, right now, I think maybe they're ramping up. I don't think they're going to require these Omicrons. People are saying, maybe they'll require Omicrons for the new Galactic Legend. I do think that's possible we get a Rebel Galactic Legend. I mean, that would make sense. I would love to get a Galactic Legend Leia, in which case we'll see the Omicron on this Leia quite a bit, just because we'll have a Relic 9 or something crazy. But right now, I don't know. This seems underwhelming for 40 Omicrons. You could do this, or you could put 40 onto Cyan of Jango and take out Galactic Legends with him in Territory Wars. So it seems cool. I think this hints at more things than it's actually giving right now. I don't think it's worth it for any account at any level. Personally, that's my thought, at least, guys. It seems good, but I don't think. I mean, it seems okay. I don't think it's there yet, though. We're missing a piece. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what all happens, guys. We're supposed to get more Inquisitors here soon. This is a Conquest thing, so do work on your Conquest. That'll be awesome. Get your red crate if you can. Buy the $10 box, I guess, if you really want to. But one way or another, I think we're going to call it good. So, guys, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth Prevails. Let me know what you think of the TIE blah 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 prototype, whatever. Bye bye.